everyone. Good morning. We're on Piscataway lands right now in so-called Washington, D.C., starting our march to the White House. So behind me you see a number of our relatives who are gathered here today after this caravan to D.C., and we're walking directly straight towards the White House right now. So you'll see a few hundred folks here right now making our way right to the front of the White House, where we're going to be calling upon the Biden administration to free our relative and elder Leonard Peltier. We're going to be talking to a number of people today that are a part of this march. So we're starting this march, and then once we get to the front of the White House, we're going to be joined by a lineup of speakers starting at around noon Eastern Standard Time. So stick with us. We're so glad you're here joining us following Native-led media. So if you can and you're watching, please share this. We always rely on our relatives and friends to share out this messaging, to share out this story so that we could reach people, because what we know is that our narratives and our experiences as Indigenous people are often left out of the public conversation. And so it's so important that you, as our listeners and watchers, help us to reach audiences by sharing content of Native people. This is how we did it in Standing Rock. This is how we did it even during the occupation of Alcatraz with Radio Free Alcatraz. And so we rely on these platforms, we rely on the voices of Indigenous people and Native-led media to tell this story that isn't told by the masses in the way that we need our stories to be told. So if you're watching, let us know where you're joining from. If you're watching, please share to your platforms. We are live on Facebook, NDN Collective's Facebook, YouTube, and X accounts. We'll also be live a bit later on NDN Collective's Instagram and TikTok accounts as well. And those will be hosted by a couple of other different members of our team. But please share. It means a lot to us that you share. Also, if you're not able to make it here with us today, there are a number of ways that you can take action, and we're going to drop those into the chat right now. So you can sign the petition to free Leonard Peltier. You can write letters to the White House and to your representatives. You can write letters to Leonard Peltier himself. We'll drop that link in the chat as well, or that address, that information in the chat. Also, if you're just now tuning in and you want to get caught up on this caravan and why we're here today, check out all of our social media pages where we have our latest stories and live streams linked. So we started this caravan to DC earlier last week on Thursday with the ceremony at the Jumping Bull Ranch on Thursday to say prayers at the site of where the shootout took place that Leonard has been unjustly incarcerated for a charge of aiding and abetting. And what a lot of people don't realize is that Leonard has not been incarcerated for 48 years for the murder of these men, but it's for aiding and abetting. But aiding and abetting who? The co-defendants in the case their charges were dropped and dismissed because of self-defense. Okay. All right, so what you see behind me is several hundred people. You see our president and CEO, Nick Tilsen. Right behind me, Nick will be speaking at the rally later today. Also marching with us, we have National Congress of American Indians President Fawn Sharp. She will also be speaking at the rally today. We're also joined by Lakota historian Nick Estes, Indigenous thought leader, and co-founder of the Red Nation. Nick Estes will be speaking. We also have Dallas Goldtooth marching with us here today. Dallas, a longtime organizer, long before being known as an actor. Dallas is an organizer, seasoned in that work, and so Dallas will be emceeing our programming today. We'll be talking to all of them here shortly. So we're making our way to the lawn of the White House, and we're just about there. We're just about to the lawn of the White House. It's a little tricky walking through this area. If you're familiar with DC, lots of traffic in the belly of the beast on Piscataway lands. Lots of people watching, wanting to know what's going on here. We're seeing all these Indians war whooping and leeling, singing, drumming. It feels really, really good. So for 48 years, we've been fighting for the release of Leonard Peltier, for Leonard Peltier to be freed. So we're going to check out some of the march participants here. Let us know if you recognize some of your relatives. We have a lot of people here who traveled from many different nations.
Free, free, free Peltier!
Songs up here at the front and chanting in the middle. Feels really good. It is hot here today in DC. I think it's around 87 degrees and it is muggy. It is humid over here. So we have a number of people around the march taking care of our relatives too, making sure we're staying hydrated. So we have a lot of elders here in this heat today too. A lot of elders and young people. Babies are in this march. So keep everyone in your good thoughts and in prayer. We started the morning in prayer before we started this march. So yeah, say a prayer for our elders who are here in this heat. Okay, maybe you can see the White House coming up. We're nearing.
You can also let them experience the moment.
Yeah. About here to the front of the White House where we're going to be setting up for this rally to hear our speakers. So we're calling upon the Biden administration to free our relative Leonard Peltier, the longest held Indigenous political prisoner in the system. And Rachel Thunder said it so eloquently a couple nights ago when we were at the rally at a caravan stop in Minneapolis that as long as Leonard Peltier, as long as our elder and relative Leonard Peltier is locked up in the system, he holds a piece of all of us is in there with him. The justice and liberation for all people is locked up in there with him. So great to see a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of people who have been involved in movement and organizing work for a long time. We're also joined by our relatives, some Aztec dancers. You can hear their drums coming in at the back. So many people here in song and prayer. We're just getting set up, and we'll have a podium here shortly where we'll have our speakers kicking things off.
Everybody circle up here. Hey.
So if you're just now joining us, we're here in front of the White House. Happy birthday to our relative and elder, Leonard Peltier. His address is in the comments if you want to send him a happy birthday message. He's 79 years old today and has been unjustly incarcerated as a political prisoner for 48 years now. The longest held Indigenous political prisoner in the system, and a symbol of this ongoing persecution of our people. Many of our traditional leaders and spiritual leaders also being locked up in systems, charged for practicing their traditional ways, also charged for something as small as wearing an eagle feather in their hair, or wearing paint on their faces, and jailed for that during the reservation era. Many of them also sent to insane asylums where they had to live out their lives, taking our power away, taking our leaders away, and locking them up in the system. And so Leonard Peltier, also a continuation of that. And still to this day, we see our freedom fighters and organizers and political indigenous leaders locked up and charged, overcharged, over-incarcerated. So we're circling up, and we're going to start out with some singing here from the Wombly Ska singers who are joining us from Pine Ridge.
If you're in back, come on in the circle over here.
And then shortly after we sing a couple of songs here, we will kick off with our speakers. So the programming today will be hosted by Dallas Goldtooth, longtime organizer.
Reminder to keep your bags on you.
And we're hoping to make a really big statement here while we're here that even though it's been 40 years, we're not stopping or slowing in our call for justice for Leonard Peltier. And we're going to continue applying pressure. I had a really good conversation yesterday with Comrade Nick Estes of the Red Nation, and he had some really good words and shared some reflections that although Leonard has been incarcerated for nearly 5 decades, that is not an indication of his guilt, but instead an indication of how corrupt the system is. So he's in there as a result of a corrupt system who has a history of villainizing our people, starting with some of the first founding document of this country, the Declaration of Independence, which called Indigenous people merciless Indian savages. And so we've been vilified since the beginning just for being who we are, for living on our lands. And we're still paying for it to this day. And so our stance here today is twofold, essentially. It's absolutely to call for the release of Leonard Peltier and to demand the release of our relative and elder who never deserved this, who deserves to live out his elder years in freedom, to walk on his homelands, to plant his 2 feet back on his Anishinaabe territories with his family. But we're also here taking a stance for the ways that our people have been unjustly targeted, unjustly vilified, criminalized, made to be the savages for simply existing on our own lands. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're just not joining us, let us know where you're joining from, and please share this live stream. We really rely on you all to help spread the word and make sure that Indigenous perspectives are shared out with the masses, because we can't rely on mainstream press to do that for us. We have to make as much noise as we can and let them know that we're not going away, but instead we're getting stronger. We know what our rights are. We know what our inherent rights are. We know what our sovereign rights are, our human rights are. And we're here taking a stance for all those things. We're also joined by partner organization Amnesty International, who's partnering with Indian Collective to make this happen today. So Amnesty International is present, and we'll be hearing from some of their team as well today.
Kathy, if you're here, come on up.
So we're just about to get started. When we do get started, we'll make sure that you're able to hear sound from the speakers. Okay, I'm going to make my way up so we can hear.
My name is Dallas Goldtooth. I have been given the honor to be your MC today, and I just wanted to say, aho, young warriors! I didn't hear you enough. Do we have some young warriors in the crowd today? Make some noise! All right. Man, it makes me feel really good to see all of you here today. We're here for a very important purpose. I'm going to do my best to MC and keep us flowing here. We have a number of speakers, so I want to ask you to please respect the speakers as they come forward into this space here. And then I want to start us off. Acknowledge Wambliska, the drum group. Thank you very much for bringing us in here. Recognize the singers. Thank you. And with deep respect to the Piscataway Nation and ancestors, we want to recognize that we are on their home territories. In many ways, this isn't Washington, D.C. to us. This is the homelands of the Piscataway people, forever and always. This land where we are at, it means where the waters blend. Those waters are the Potomac and the Chesapeake Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. So I want to recognize in gratitude to our Piscataway relatives for always being present, for still being here, and for recognizing and resisting the continued colonization of indigenous lands. We're always on Indian land. You are on stolen land. I'd like to thank our hosts, Indian Collective and Amnesty International, who have been doing a lot of work to free our relative, Leonard Peltier. 49 years. 49 years our relative has been locked up. 5 decades too long. A travesty. An injustice. This nation prides itself on justice. Well, it's glaring right in the face that there is no justice on stolen land. Our grandfather, our uncle, an individual I grew up seeing and hearing my entire life is still locked up. He is an elder now, and he deserves to be amongst his people and his community. He deserves to be back on the land. That is why we are here. So make some noise for our relative, Leonard Peltier. I want to acknowledge some of the relatives that are here. Is Chauncey, Kathy, are you here? We have some of our Leonard's family members with us. His daughter, Kathy, and son, Chauncey, his grandson, Cyrus, and great-grandson, Diego, are here with us today. I want to thank all our relatives who traveled a long way to be here. Oh, come on up. Just give her. I want to recognize Chauncey here. Thank you very much for being here. Cyrus. Oh, Cyrus here. The grandson here for being here. I want to recognize all the relatives who came a long way. Who all came from Oceti-Sakowin territory? How about the Oceti-Sakowin / Anishinaabe Ho-Chunk territory, Minnesota? Hey, I'm Dakota, but I have to acknowledge there's some Ojibways there. You guys made your way in. It's okay. I recognize you. We're here for Peltier. Recognize our Anishinaabe relatives. All right. I want to recognize our Lummi relatives who came a long way. I raise my hands to you, to our relatives, Lummi Nation, who brought a totem pole, and Freddie Lane for bringing that totem pole on that sacred journey back to this place. They made a long journey. It was a year ago. They made a long journey advocating for protecting sacred sites, and they brought that totem pole back here. At this time, before we bring up our speakers, I want to start us off in a good way. So I'm going to ask my relative Fred Desjardins to come forth from Red Lake Nation here to start us off and to pray that in the way that we've been taught. We always start off with prayer. So I want to acknowledge my relative here, Fred, at this time.
Bonjour, ni Johnny Shinabe Duk, Nini Wagi Kwayawak, Wasumugi Nini in the go, Makwa and do de Moga Kaning and doing Jabba. And we win the Ayano Ma Nunga. Fred DeJarlie's my name in English, Lightning Man's my name in Anishinaabe Moen. I'm from the Bear Clan and I'm from Red Lake. I came here today on behalf of our gathering to honor our relative and elder, our fellow Anishinaabe, our fellow relative, Leonard Peltier. And I want to offer some tobacco before we start. We have a lot of relatives that came from all of their nations, and all of our ancestors are here with us. They're all here in support of what we're gathering for. There's years and generations of us here who have been in support of this cause. And I want to acknowledge all of our ancestors from supporting us getting here safe, and for everybody traveling back to their homelands, but ultimately to get our relative free. And that's what I'll be offering this tobacco for today. So I'll be lighting up this pipe on behalf of our gathering, asking the Creator, all the spirits to come be with us, bless us up, charge us up, give us our power and the energy and our intentions of releasing our relative, sending them our love and support over this great gathering that we're doing. So I'm going to light up and I'm going to go into the language. And after the language, I'm going to blow this whistle with the staff in all directions, and then I'll turn it back over. So I really appreciate everybody for giving me some time here to offer tobacco before we start. So, me gwitch, me ill. We pin da kuja ke anako ni we saki pagane bin the kuja ke anako ni we saki pagane manito. The gun is in Manito, Wassamuk in the name, go Makwa and do a demo, got conning and doing Jabba. Maybe when the Ayan or my Manito goes to baby, son. We can't wait to go Manito, Bucket win and say, Manito.
Just wanted to let everyone know that a prayer is taking place right now, which is why we have the camera turned away. There is a prayer taking place by an Anishinaabe relative, and we'll come right back as soon as we're done with the prayer. But right now we're taking a pause here during the prayer, and then we'll come back here momentarily. So we have the camera pointed away, and we'll be back here in a moment. So stay with us. Thank you. Okay, thanks for hanging in there with us, everyone. We just finished a beautiful prayer.
I'm Dakota, born and raised. Back home, there was an elder, was a language advocate, was an educator, philosopher named Albert Whitehat from Chichango territory. And there's a phrase that he brought back. Well, there's a phrase that he taught folks. Nake nula wa'u. Nake nula wa'u. I'm always ready. Always prepared. When someone needs us to stand up in defense of the sacred, I'm ready to be there. When you need us to stand up for those that need help, we're there. So I want you to say that with me. Nake nula wa'u. Nake nula wa'u. Nake nula wa'u. Nake nula wa'u. Wherever, we're always ready. This is what you see in front of you. I want to recognize Chauncey for being here. Peltier's son. I want to ask our first speaker to come on up. Nick Tilsen is President and CEO of Indian Collective. Nick is a third-generation activist in the fight to free Leonard Peltier. Indian Collective is a national Indigenous-led organization dedicated to building Indigenous power. Please welcome, join me in welcoming Nick Tilsen.
I'm a Dakyapi, Nick Tilsen a Machiapi, Chantaya Washtenep Chuzapelo. It's good to see each and every one of you here today. I stand up here with my daughter, Shayla, who would be the fourth generation fighting for Leonard Peltier's freedom. My family came into this movement. My family came into this movement in 1973 at the occupation at Wounded Knee. And I lived 3 miles down the road from Wounded Knee in Porcupine, South Dakota, on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. And Leonard Peltier's incarceration, his illegal incarceration, is a representation of all of the injustices that have been done to Indigenous people. When the United States government and the FBI decided to wage a war on the American Indian movement, they attacked Leonard Peltier. They used all the resources available to them in the biggest manhunt in the history of the FBI to defuse our movement, to defuse the Indigenous people's movement from rising up and fighting for our self-determination. And over the last 48 years, we as a movement and as a people have seen great advancements in the rights of Indigenous people in this country. Fishing rights, land back, education, many of these things and many of these policies were created because the conditions were created by the American Indian movement for these things to happen. But one of our relatives, Leonard Peltier, has not been able to benefit from those changes. Has not been able to benefit from the very things that he fought for, from the very movement that he sacrificed to build. And so we come together here to remind the United States that Leonard Peltier is the longest incarcerated political prisoner in the history of the United States. And it's a reminder of how they treat the Indigenous people of this land, how they treat us. So his release not only represents his liberation, but it represents all of our Indigenous people's liberation bound up with him. And so I ask all of us to continue, and those of you that are at home, we cannot let his fight for freedom go quietly. It's time. 48 years is long enough. We are calling on the Biden administration, who has made it a choice, has made Indigenous civil rights a priority for his administration, yet he allows and continues to allow the longest incarcerated political prisoner in the United States. We need to see action now. Yeah. Release Leonard Peltier.
Let's give another round of applause.
Chairman, hand me a mic.
Thank you very much.
Suzan is here.
Active relative Fawn Sharp is the president of the National Congress of American Indians. I'm going to ask Fawn to come up. President Fawn Sharp serves as the president of NCAI, the oldest and largest and most representative American Indian and Alaska Native tribal government organization in the country. Oh, that's a tongue twister right there. It's a pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Fawn Sharp. Let's give a round of applause here.
Yohach, Anjak, Hawishka. Good afternoon, friends, relatives from all over the country. I want to acknowledge our elders and our veterans. I see we have veterans with us. Let's acknowledge them and thank them. I also want to thank our relatives. I see we have relatives from outside of the United States. You know, this is an international cry for justice. All across this planet, Indigenous peoples in this very moment are sacrificing their lives to protect what we know is sacred, to protect our water, to protect our forests and the Amazon. And every single day, our relatives are facing jail, they're facing imprisonment, they're facing death and outright murder of those who are after what our Almighty Creator gifted to us. And we know as Native people all across, it doesn't matter if you live here, if you live on the other side of the planet, we know that what has been gifted to our people does not belong to us. It belongs to our future generations. It is a gift that we receive from our ancestors, and we have a sacred duty. If there's an injustice, we have a sacred duty to come together and stand united. And I cannot thank you enough for coming from all over the planet to this very moment. We are here with intention. We are here with purpose. And 79 years ago, on this very day, a warrior was born. And for 79 years, this warrior, our relative, our elder, walked these lands with purpose, with a fire, and with a calling, a special calling upon his life. And he has galvanized a movement for justice in the United States. So I want to stand here today with you as we celebrate our elder, as we celebrate this sacred day in which he was called and born, a warrior that was born to come together and bring us together. Siakwil, that is a gift that we all have received. We are also here with purpose to call out the President of the United States. The only person on the face of this planet that has the sole decision. It is a choice he has to make to release Leonard, our relative. We call on the President of the United States, release our elder, release Leonard Peltier, Mr. Biden, release Leonard, 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 now! Siakwa, thank you. The last thing I want to say in closing, we have to understand and realize while we are individuals, while we are in a human body, the strength and the spirit that lies within each one of us is an indestructible force. And while you look at a power structure like this, like the White House and the Capitol of the United States, the spiritual strength of our people towers. If you could imagine our ancestors from when time began until time ends, from the ground to the heavens, how mighty, how powerful we are surrounded by our ancestors every single day. We are surrounded by their strength. We are surrounded by the heavens and our relatives and all things living. So while our relative is in prison, that is just his body. His spirit has led a movement. While he is locked up, he has led a movement. nothing they can do to break our spirit. And we are going to stand here united until our friend, our relative comes home. Siakwil.
Free Peltier! Free Peltier! Free Peltier! Free Peltier! Free Peltier! Free Peltier! Let's give a round of applause for Fawn Sharp, our relative. Our next speaker is going to be coming up is Suzan Harjo, the president of the Morning Star Institute and a Medal of Freedom recipient and also my Facebook friend. Suzan is a longtime comrade of Leonard Peltier and has been advocating for his release for decades. Please join me in welcoming our auntie, Suzan Harjo. Can I get this moved over? Oh, actually, I got it.
What a great group here. This is a mighty force. Fawn Sharp was so right to talk about the strength we have. What we're looking at, what you're looking at, that's marble, that's alabaster. What we're looking at is power. What we're looking at ourselves, that's the power. That's the strength that Leonard drew on when he was in prison and they were trying to break his spirit. Is this better? Thank you. When they were trying to break his spirit, when he was in prison for a long time, not as long as now, but for a long time, he decided he wanted to be an artist. And he didn't know how to go about it. And a mutual friend, David Bradley from White Earth, Chippewa, White Earth, Ojibwe, said, I can give him some pointers over the phone. So he did. And that's how Leonard learned to paint, was over the phone, talking to an artist who was, as a professional artist, was telling him how you go about painting. Here are some things you can do. And he got better and better and better. And that kind of spirit is pretty amazing. And the things that he painted were pictures of people he wanted to go home to, or people he had never met but who reminded him of his people. He is one of our people. He's my brother. He is our collective elder and friend. And we need to do everything in our power, in our way, that will get him out of prison now, while he's still living now. I asked him what would be the first thing you wanted to do, and this was a long time ago. What's the thing you want to do when you get out of prison? And he said, I just want to look at the sky. Help him look at the sky. That's what we need to do. We need to pray. We need to send him as much of our strength as we can. We have to think of him as an elder and not a cause, as a brother and not a cause, as an uncle, as a grandfather and not a cause. He's not our cause. He's our relative. And we need to find everyone who has compassion in their hearts, such as the man who lives in this beautiful marble palace, to let him go, to free Leonard Peltier and free him now. He has lost the sight in one eye. He, like me, doesn't walk so well. He has all of the problems associated with our age. When you are just within reach of 80, you suddenly start feeling lighter because things drop off you. You lose part of yourself, but you gain strength internally. And that's what we see in Leonard. He's going to sustain us, but we have to sustain him. And part of it is making ourselves strong as we can, and sending him our strength. He loves you. I love you dearly. And be strong, be good. Free Leonard Peltier. Good Mr. Biden.
That's right. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask former federal judge Kevin H. Sharp to come on up to the stage here. Mr. Sharp has been Leonard Peltier's attorney for the past 3 years. Judge Sharp was nominated to the federal bench by President Barack Obama. Now, as Leonard Peltier's attorney, his leadership has moved forward integral work on this campaign. So please, let's give a round of applause here for Judge Kevin Sharp.
All right, thanks everybody. It's really important that you are all here, and it really makes me feel good that I know and see, and that the president knows and can see the level of support that is out here for Leonard Peltier. I'm not going to take a long time. It's impossible to follow Fawn and Suzan. I'm not going to try, but I come at this from a unique perspective. I was on the federal bench, and before I was a federal judge, I was in the military, and to do that, you take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and I took that oath seriously. When I became a lawyer back in 1993, I took that oath again, swearing to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And when I took the bench as a federal judge, I took that oath yet again to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And when I stepped down from the bench, someone sent me Leonard Peltier's file, the trial transcripts, the court opinions, the notes, the articles, the photographs, and I admit that I did not know as much as I should as a citizen of this country about Leonard Peltier's case. But in one sense, that helped because I didn't come at this with any preconceived idea of what the answer was going to be. I just sat down as a lawyer and a former federal judge who had tried dozens and dozens and dozens of criminal cases. I just looked at this anew. And as I looked at it, it didn't take me long to become shocked at what I was seeing. The level of constitutional violations, the level of misconduct by the United States government, by federal law enforcement, by the federal prosecutors. And the thing that so upset me about that was that I knew that they had taken the exact same oath that I had taken in order to have that position. They swore to uphold and defend the Constitution. And in order to reach the result that they wanted and felt like they needed, they violated that oath. And so it was clear to me in just a matter of hours as I'm going through this, and I've gone and dug deeper and deeper and deeper, but it didn't take me long to realize what they had done and how this needed to be fixed. What did take me years longer, I'm actually going on 4 years representing Leonard, is the why. The what they did and the how they did it were really easy for me because that was the world that I lived in. The why took longer. And you all know the why, and you've lived the why. And that's why the freedom for Leonard Peltier is so important. It's about the Constitution. It's about justice. It's about mercy. It's about this country's relationship with the indigenous people who were here when we came and took that land. So I say today, again, and follow and echo the words of President Sharp and Suzan Harjo. It is time to free Leonard Peltier. Mr. President, enough is enough is enough. Let's free Leonard Peltier. Thank you all for being here.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? Clemency. What do we want? Clemency. When do we want it? Clemency. What do we want? Clemency. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Clemency. When do we want it? Now. Let's give a round of applause for our next speaker coming up. Paul O'Brien is the Executive Director of Amnesty International USA. The Indian Collective is honored to share this space and partner on this campaign to free Leonard Peltier with Paul in Amnesty International. So I'm going to hand it over here to Paul. Thank you.
Thanks, Dallas. The honor is ours. We are so honored to be with all of you, with the leaders who've shown up over the decades, and all of you who've shown up in this moment. You've heard these amazing speakers. You know we have justice on our side. You know we have history on our side. You know we have right on our side. And I want you to know, and I think you know it already, you have 250,000 Amnesty members on your side, and we're not going to let this go. You have 10 million strong in our global movement, and we are not going to let this go. So we are with you today, and we will be with you in the long run. And we know we're going to win because of what we see today. We know that there isn't a person here who is going to forget this moment and is going to forget the wrongness that is being done to Leonard Peltier. He's going to get clemency because of all of you and all of us. We're going to keep fighting, and I'm just grateful to be part of this journey with all of you. And I say that on behalf of the whole Amnesty family. Thank you. Let's keep going.
All right. Love that energy. All right, we're going to welcome up our next relative. Holly Cook Macaro works on the Free Leonard Peltier campaign under Government Affairs at Indian Collective and leads the federal strategy and outreach related to Leonard Peltier's clemency campaign. Today, Holly will be reading a statement from Leonard Peltier. So please join me in welcoming Holly Cook Macaro.
Ani and Buju, Baganagichigo Kwe and Dajanakaz, Makwa Dindo Dam, Musquagami Wizagaga and Donjaba. My name is Hole in the Sky Woman in my Ojibwe language and Holly Cook Macaro in English. And as Dallas said, I do government affairs for Indian Collective. And I spoke with Leonard yesterday, and he was, which always is remarkable to me, in good spirits and remains hopeful. And that hope after all these years is what has always struck me. And he wanted to send a message of thanks that everyone had gathered here today and for all the work that everyone is doing. And he asked me to read this statement. Dear friends, relatives, supporters, and loved ones, 79 years old, Mother Earth has taken us on another journey around Grandfather Sun. Babies have taken their first breath. People have lived, loved, and died. Seeds have been planted and sent their roots deep below red earth and their breath to the stars and our ancestors. I am still here. Time has twisted one more year out of me, a year that has been a moment and a year that has been a lifetime. For almost 5 decades, I've existed in a cage of concrete and steel. With the good time calculations of the system, I've actually served over 60 years. Year after year, I have encouraged you to live as spirit warriors. Even while in here, I can envision what is real and far beyond these walls. I've seen a reawakening of an ancient native pride that does my heart good. I may leave this place in a box. That is a cold truth. But I've put my heart and soul into making our world a better place, and there is a lot of work left to do. I would like to get out and join you in doing it. I know that the spirit warriors coming up behind me have the heart and soul to fight racism and oppression, and to fight the greed that is poisoning our lands, waters, and people. We are still here. Remember who you are, even if they come for your land, your water, your family. We are children of Mother Earth, and we owe her and her other children our care. I long to turn my face to the sky. In this cage, I'm denied that simple pleasure. I am in prison, but in my mind, I remain as I was born, a free native spirit. That is what allows me to laugh, keeps me laughing. These walls cannot contain my laughter or my hope. I know there are those who stand with me, who work around the clock for my freedom. I've been blessed to have such friends. We are still here, and you give me hope. I hope to breathe free air before I die. Hope is a hard thing to hold, but no one is strong enough to take it from me. I love you. I hope for you. I pray for you. And prayer is more than a cry to the Creator that runs through your head. Prayer is an action. In the spirit of Crazy Horse, Doksha, Leonard Peltier.
Miigwech, thank you very much, Holly. Our next speaker coming up is Jennifer Jones. Jennifer is counsel to Leonard Peltier. So welcome, Jennifer Jones.
Good morning. I am not actually Jennifer Jones. I am Maura Meltzer-Cohen. Jennifer Jones and I are but two of the many, many attorneys who have been moved to take on Mr. Peltier's cause and to advance it. We bring you his message today. Relatives, 47 years. Who is one? They have me, but they cannot contain we. We are a unified Oyate. 47 years, we have only just begun. Your presence is a gift this 79th birthday. In you, I plant a seed. Rise up, sovereign nations and all peoples. I never thought our struggle would get this far, but here we are, winning. In 1976, I was protecting people from being murdered. Over 60 murders never investigated, the FBI supplying the weapons and ammunition, mass sterilizations, our children kidnapped, our language forbidden, uranium mining on our reservations, disrespecting the land, forever poisoning the waters with cancers. This is genocide. I stood in their way. The government spent millions to convict me. It shows you the value of a freedom fighter. Just like they tried to buy the Black Hills, they tried to buy me too. Even the International Criminal Court has noted the injustice of my case. Everything has been done to break my spirit, but every time I have been called upon by my people, I serve them, body, heart, and spirit. It must be done. Resistance is power. I have never given up, and I won't start now. Brothers, sisters, and two-spirit relatives, bars, barbed wire, and beatings can never defeat justice. Today, you have won. When I see the gleam in our babies' eyes, I remember that we are winning. In the defense of the land, we are winning. In the protection of the waters, the womb of Mother Earth, we are winning. To protect our sacred ritual, we are winning. Here we are, outside of a house for all the people, built on stolen land with stolen labor. It is time to look at what took place here on this soil, on this land. Do not turn back. The spirit of history is on our side, and we are winning. Thank you for your support and solidarity. Today, I am 79. In 2024, 80 years, no fears, my dears. Miigwech Wopalatanka, in the spirit of Crazy Horse, Leonard Peltier.
Thank you very much. Not Jennifer Jones. Thank you for that clarification. I want to ask one of our next speaker to come on up, Nick Estes. Nick Estes is a journalist, professor, historian, and co-founder of the Red Nation and Red Media, and he's my stunt double. And my body double, if you see in the show, you know what I mean. So this is him. So I ask my relative, come on up, Nick, to give us your good words.
Thank you. Everyone was coming up to me and going, Toshka Dallas, Toshka Dallas. Hamatak yapi, Tetonka hitika mielo. We are here again in the belly of the beast, saying what we have said since 1978, that the FBI has waged a reign of terror against the American Indian movement and social movements who are fighting for freedom, for justice, and more importantly, treaty rights. This is not the seat of power in Indian country. Look around you, all our relatives that came from communities across the country. We have the wild Oglalas who are here. That is the heart of Ocheti Shakoi territory. That is the seat of power for our nation, Ocheti Shakoi. Not the White House, not Congress. That's why on January 6th, these guys came here because they thought this was the seat of power to try to take it. For us, our seat of power is the land, the water, the air. That's what Leonard Peltier was defending. This isn't some kind of spiritual, mystical, esoteric thing either. The United States government, when it drafted its constitution, recognized the military and social power of American Indian nations and put in its constitution that treaties are the supreme law of the land because of that power. And every treaty they signed with us had the same power as the U.S. Constitution. The same power as the U.S. Constitution. So every single day that Leonard Peltier sits in prison, this president walks on the Constitution. The president before him steps on the Constitution. And we are told that is a sacred document. How are we to look to people who treat their sacred documents, their sacred word in such a manner? All Leonard Peltier was fighting for is the future of our people as Indigenous people, because they tried to take that away with boarding schools. They tried to erase our children. It's not just about taking them and making them speak English. When you steal youth, you try to steal the future of Indigenous nations. Now look around you. I've been coming out here for 10 years. I've never seen so many young people here. That is a victory because it shows where power moves. It moves through people. It doesn't move through pieces of paper. In 1972, the American Indian movement came, almost 50 years ago, came to this area and took over the Bureau of Indian Affairs to make a stand. But they realized that these guys aren't going to do anything. That the real seat of power lies back in the communities like Pine Ridge. That's why they went back. That's why the FBI went out there. If we want to talk about the FBI family vendetta that has been waged against the American Indian movement and Leonard Peltier, we have to go back to one of the poorest places in this country. Why is it that Lakota people, why is it that Indigenous people represent such a threat that they're willing to walk on their own constitution and keep an elder in prison? Why is it? Look at Standing Rock. That's why. Because it was not just us. It was not just Ocheti Shakoi who was out there. It was our Washichu brothers and sisters. It was our black brothers and sisters. It was people of all walks of life who understood that Native people aren't special in our relationship to water. Because pretty soon, that's going to be threatened for us too. This isn't just an Indian issue. This isn't just an Indian problem. This is everybody's problem. And it's important that all of you step up and do what's right. I'm tired of waiting on people who sit in this so-called seat of power to exercise a sliver of humanity. Because you represent a greater humanity, a greater power, one that is guided by morals and principles that come from the land itself. And that's what we recognize with the freedom of Leonard Peltier. It's going to happen. But that victory is going to lie with you, those who've kept the dream alive. Leonard Peltier prayed. He had those visions at Sundance. This is the dream This is the dream of our ancestors to be here. That we say we don't forget our ancestors. We don't forget our relatives. All those children who are buried, we're not going to forget them either. We're coming for it all. So I just want to thank you. I want to say I love you all. Everybody who came out. Thank you. Podcast.
Wopida, Nick, for that. And Wopida for the reminder that this is a movement that has influenced each and every one of us. Earlier, my Tahashi, Nick, I was listening to it. There was a podcast he was on, and he was talking about how those of us who grew up in the quote-unquote movement, grew up with Peltier on our minds. I'm 40 years old, and though I am proud to continue to advocate and fight for the freedom of a relative, Leonard Peltier, it's a travesty that for 40 years since I was born, we've been asking for the same thing. It's time for President Biden to take action to free our relative, to free Leonard Peltier. I want to ask a relative, Jewel James, to come on up with Fawn, our relative Fawn Sharp here. Good, scoot down a little bit. Left. To the left. Jewel is a master carver from the Lummi Nation who coordinated with folks from his community to bring a totem pole back here to Washington, D.C. As I mentioned before, they did a journey not too long ago to advocate for the protection of sacred sites on Indigenous lands. And they come back not only to recognize our relative Leonard Peltier, but also to bring that totem pole back here in a good way as a gift to NCAI, the National Congress of American Indians. So I'm going to pass it over here to our relative, Jewel.
I want to thank each and every one of you for making it out here. I want to thank Fawn Sharp, president of NCAI, for calling us and letting us know what was going on. I got my brother Sitka Kadam and his mate Siam went, and our main man Freddie Lane, Sol Kadam, Siam, coordinated our journey. We zigzagged across the United States with the totem pole as soon as we got the call to come to Washington, D.C. We did about 4,000 miles, I was just thinking, just so far. But the thing is that we've been delivering totem poles for the last 22 years and bringing them to sites and leaving them at sites where people are calling for social justice, environmental justice, spiritual justice. I was only 17 when Northwest AIM marched on Fort Lawton. And we were called to Fort Lawton to go there and demand the land for Native Americans. And so I didn't get to meet him then, but he was involved in coordinating that. And we appreciate that because it became Daybreak Star Center for United Indians of all tribes. It was a successful campaign. But when we got this totem pole is 16 feet long. On the bottom is a green area with grass cuttings design. That represents the greasy grass. That's a Little Bighorn. That's where 7th Cavalry was defeated when they were trying to force the Sioux and the Cheyenne to give up the Black Hills. It was a crime, and they paid for it. But the racism that originated from that defeat would go on to be manifested at Wounded Knee in 1890. In between the Wounded Knee symbols and the greasy grass, we have a bear, and that bear has salmon. Leonard Peltier came out to support the tribes, the Puyallup, the Nisquallies, and the Northwest tribes, and the tribes of the Columbia River. Elders like David Sohappy and Billy Frank that were out there battling and being beaten for trying to exercise their traditional rights, their spiritual rights, and their treaty rights. And so that bear represents him there. And on the knees, there's 3 eagle feathers representing the dancing society that David Sohappy had by vision. Above it is 4 human beings. 2 of the human beings have a white face representing the Wounded Knee 1, the Ghost Dance Massacre, where 300 women, children, and elders were shot down by the 7th Cavalry. In between are 2 more human figures. This represents Wounded Knee too, where in memory of the 100 traditionalists that were murdered during that time down there amongst our relatives, traditional people that were seeking their rights. The two figures in front hold wingtip feathers of eagles. One thing about the American Indian movement represented to each and every one of us was the inherent sovereignty of the people. They were saying, go to your inherent sovereignty. Don't fall victim to the Indian Reorganization Act, where you had to plea and swear allegiance to the United States. And so we heard that message. Above it is a full moon, and the full moon makes the sacred circle. On it is an Indian sitting with his legs crossed, hands on lap, head bowed, and two feathers over his forehead with a fire in front of him and his walking stick behind him. If you look at the full moon between 9 and 11 o'clock at night, you'll see the black spots, and you'll see that Native American person sitting just like there, praying for each and every one of us. We asked one day, what would he be saying? He would be saying, Almighty Spirit, Great Father, forgive them for not loving Mother Earth, but save her for the children. And that's what the American Indian movement is about, is saving the earth for our children, so that they may have a tradition of relationship in a sacred way with creation. And because of the way the Plains and the Plateau people have taught us in the Chippewas, we put the pipe on top of the moon there to remember that they're always praying for absolutely everything. So we're proud to have brought this totem pole. We're going to leave it with Fawn Sharp and the Native American Embassy here in Washington, D.C. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to be here with you.
Thank you very much. I raise my hands to you and your relatives who came a long way bringing that totem pole to this place here. At this time, I have the privilege to invite our last speaker, who's going to bring closing us out with a prayer. Back in 1972, then the American Indian movement had gone into a federal prison called Stillwater Prison in Minnesota. Our relative here, Lenny Foster, was a part of that group that went in to offer ceremonial services to our men who are locked up there. And from that point on, going forward, our relative Lenny Foster, has been a spiritual advisor to the American Indian movement as well as to Leonard Peltier. In 1970, he was involved in the occupation of Alcatraz. In 72, he was on the trail of broken treaties, caravan, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs takeover here in Washington, D.C. He was also at the occupation of Wounded Knee in 73. In 78, he participated in the longest walk, a 7-month journey from Alcatraz to Washington, D.C. I just want to say before I ask our relative to come up and speak, is I want to acknowledge the footsteps that we follow in this movement. These giants who laid the way, who paved the way for us to be here. The countless warriors, the unnamed warriors who sacrificed defending our rights to protect Mother Earth. Aunties, uncles who took to the streets, who occupied buildings, who ran for tribal government. We honor you and celebrate you because we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So I want to acknowledge our relative Lenny Foster to come up and share some words with us and to close us out in a good way with some prayers.
Hoka, Yopo, Oste, Diana no Slaney, Kudoe Yat Elde, Hidini Dole, Fan of Swap, Kiana, Ain't Strong, Saskane, Bosses Chen, Tropa, Edas, Enagan, Edas, and Null, Ekota, de teacher, Yatel, Hinane Kai, de Coral, Hinna, Leonard Peltier, Bened Needle, Benash Needle, Ekota, said as an AD Lisa on aid. Squat. Sarada, Sayat, said as a nest late or late. Kudoshedi. Tadazini Nana Slo, Hawan, Hanat Kidole. Behazodole, Kudon Hamas, Sats is Picado. Tadazini Yana Nit Eto, De Conha, Shada Ana, now Cos. Could I be Hazodole and see case dole, Janat Abiat and he Nabiat and Yetsats and Biat. Could also nine long benash need or less, they come but citizen. Citizen Ayat Eo behind Ladoles, Leonard Peltier. Ainley, Walia, Hutsa, Washington, Walia, Adasata, Badi, Lisha, the Indian, Yot Asian to Badi, and Azoni, Bindi Juana, Dasso, Turtle Mound, Banner, Chippewa, Keynote, Kobanatskino, not Dasso, in Tadadin, Genobatskino. Die kon je na beat en he na beat en getsat en beat aro yadas ke jona die en traditine ben jona khana tkedo le asone se khadi en long die kon ta anos zilla palas klata no klini sinsi da no klini die kon aan ga sadesen aro sadesen die kon dat en Leonard Peltier by Yaro le ka do ne ka Juana Dasso, Adobacade and Law of Chimpy, yes, and Law, Asher, Richard Coffee, and Law, they could up. Citizen in High Slado, so Joe Butland, so Ado de Con, if you had Law, they call Citizen High Slado, Eddie could up. Yadas get John, Eddie, and Tadadini, and John Hana Tito, they would up. Leonard Peltier, they would up. Citizen, I don't know. Would I cannot say. Eba Henson, they can't do farm, so they can't just citizen. High slado left, a good abiat eho. Aroha, Shada Ana, now consists not gentle, to course, lead Benza, 50 and on the cine. 80 Conti, Bayat and Hitata, Bayat and Hitsa, and Hikadan, Hiara, and Kara. Son knew now they call Bayat, behaz on the sling, behaz on the sling, behaz on the sling, behaz on the sling. Oh, the talk, yes,
Let's give some love and recognition to our elder, our relative Lenny Foster here. Thank you so much. It's like a magic trick, right? He just disappears behind the curtain. Good. I want to remind everybody here, there's only one person who has the power to free Leonard Peltier, and this is his house right behind us, President Joe Biden. And you can take action to help in this effort right now. You can call the White House, demand that Leonard Peltier goes free. You can send an email to the White House to demand Leonard Peltier goes free. Go on social media and tag the White House, tag the president to demand clemency for our relative, Leonard Peltier. He deserves to come home. He needs to come home. Free, 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 Leonard Peltier. Free, 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 Leonard Peltier.
Free, 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 Leonard Peltier. Free, 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 Leonard Peltier. Free, 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 Leonard Peltier.
The phone. We're going to get ready to transition into a period right now. We're going to ask folks your patience here. There's going to be a banner unfurling behind me. Some relatives who have come here are willing and are going to risk arrest. Some brave warriors are willing and are going to risk arrest to elevate this message that Leonard Peltier being incarcerated this long is an injustice and deserves to be free now. Relatives are going to put their bodies on the line here to elevate this narrative. That there's no justice on stolen lands. And that our relative is celebrating his 79th year, his birthday. He's 79 years old today. He deserves to be with his family. So we're going to be moving these speakers to that side of the street here. You're going to see a banner here. All those who are risking arrest, those who have already been communicated with, there's already been folks who have already been volunteered, they're going to be on the opposite end of the banner here. So I ask photos, please stay where you are. We're going to kind of get ourselves set up here to the next part of this action. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. It looks like we're going to be clearing the way. My name is Lorenzo. I'm going to be your host for a little bit. And, we're going to try to get out of the way of what's going to go down right now. You saw the banner we revealed yesterday. That banner is about to be put on the ground so they can see it from the White House. Let's go ahead and move away.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Again, super hot day. I hope you... All right, let's move to right here. So, we got some babies. Super hot day, but I think looks like we have some dancers are coming out right now. You can hear some eagle-born whistles going off. A lot of different staves are being held in the air. Medicine's being held in the air. People have medicine on them.
Right there.
The experience is with you. We're going to be listening. We're going to move this way if that's okay. Yeah, let's slide that way. We came for Leonard Peltier. 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 We came for Leonard Peltier.
Leonard Peltier! Free Leonard Peltier!
All right, everybody. As you can see, the banner has been laid out on the ground. People are holding a banner in front of the White House that says, "Enough is enough, free Leonard Peltier." They're moving to the fence. Let's go over here. So people are moving to the fence right here.
Free Leonard Peltier! 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 Free Leonard Peltier!
Again, everybody, if you just joined us, please be liking, please be sharing, please be commenting. All that's going to help this be seen. Today's the day. It's Leonard Peltier's birthday. You heard all of those speakers. We're trying to bring attention to this ongoing injustice. We need Leonard Peltier to be freed, and you are helping us do that. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thanks for coming on this journey. And we're just going to keep listening and keep observing. Thanks for being here. Let's get what's the line right here? Coming through. Here we are holding space with the folks right in front of the White House. You can see their fists are raised. There's a bunch of Eaglehead staffs. Eagle staffs have been brought. Medicine being held up. People are wearing medicine. All these prayers have come from across Turtle Island to be in this place. I'm chanting, if you fuck. It looks like we have some lines of Secret Service, I think, who are watching us now. They're kind of coalescing on the edges. There's a police van up in the distance with all the doors open. It looks like they're just watching from a distance. Right now, people are just chanting, holding space, calling for Leonard Peltier to be freed. And it looks like we're going to just stay here.
birthday song for Leonard. Leonard always signs his letters in spirit of crazy. Yeah, I came with the Lakota delegation from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. Started out ranch. All of this stuff started at. But there's only one way to honor a man like Leonard. He gave his life and is sitting his life away for us. The best birthday song I can come up with is the one that honors his final statement in all his letters in the spirit of Crazy Horse. He was moved by the spirit of Crazy Horse. So in honor of Leonard Peltier for his birthday, I'm going to sing this special song just for you, Leonard. Aho!
Again, thanks for joining us. I'm going to move. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of police officers coming out of the White House now. I'm not sure if they're Secret Service or what sort of federal agency they are, or they're Capitol Police. I don't know if we can make them out. There's a line of them moving out now. People are chanting, "Free, free Peltier." It looks like some police officers are starting to walk over. Or they can see them discussing sort of here. I think that might be a police liaison who's just talking with them, trying to figure out what's going on. And she's just sharing some information that people are here. They're here exercising their rights. They're here to demand the freedom of Peltier. And they're just trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Again, thanks for joining us. Folks have been holding this space now for about an hour. You heard the speakers go, explaining why this is the time to free Peltier. It's always been the time, so today is again the time. And you can hear the folks are singing, the drum. looks like they're elevating the banner now so it can be read. Now's the time. Let's take a look at the front of the banner here. Let's just go right across. Again, if you're watching, please let us know where you're watching from. Share this feed. There should be some information in the chat of how to call the White House. Call them right now. Call them right now and say, now is the time to free Leonard Peltier. It's his birthday. All these people have come out to make that demand. They started in prayer. They started in ceremony. They're here in prayer. They're here in ceremony. And we're just ongoing. We're holding this space in a good way. President Biden, free Leonard Peltier. All right, hold on. Hey. So it looks like there's some, I'm not sure which we got some Secret Service folks. They're talking to the people holding the banner. Maybe some Capitol Police as well. Not Capitol Police. I'm not sure what the white shirt folks are. What is it? We'll let these folks go by. Secret Service officers. Or I'm not sure. Secret Service agents. Park Police is here. The Secret Service is here. They're kind of going back and forth. Do you want to talk about why you're here?
Yes, we're here to make sure our elder and our relative comes home now. Yes.
You want to talk about why you're here?
I'm here to stand up in defense of our relative, our uncle, our grandfather, Leonard Peltier, who's been incarcerated for over 49 years. He's the longest serving political prisoner in United States history. He deserves to be free. He deserves to be with his family now.
Do you want to say anything while you're here?
I'm here for Leonard Peltier. He's been in there for too long. It's symbolic of how the U.S. has always treated our people. Free Leonard Peltier.
Do you want to say anyone's name? You want to say your name?
Anissa Martin, Hamadakiapi, Anissa Martin, Amachapi, Ksho, Oglala Lakota, Hemacha. I'm traveling from Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, representing for all the Oglalas out there.
What was that journey like? You came here to come on the buses? Yeah, what was that like?
It was really nice. We came in prayer. We traveled with our chanupas, and so every stop we smudged and we prayed every morning. It was really unifying. We picked up relatives in Minneapolis and kept picking up relatives along the way. So everybody comes from all across Turtle Island. So it's nice to be united in this way and free Leonard Peltier.
Thank you. We ask they want to introduce themselves. I'm really bad at asking for introductions. I can hear the excitement. There's definitely more and more police watching, kind of wondering what's going on, but they marched through, but now they're keeping their distance. Did you want to introduce yourself? I didn't ask.
Yes, I'm Fawn Sharp, President of the National Congress of American Indians.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Dallas Goldtooth, writer, organizer, actor. Really happy to be here and proud to be here with our relatives who are risking arrest to elevate the narrative that we need to free Leonard Peltier.
Thank you. We're Facebook friends too. Yeah, we're Facebook friends. Yeah. Do you want to talk about why you're here?
My name is Tali Molinar. I'm a descendant of the Ndé Lipan Apache and the Chichimeca Mexica. I speak for the natives of the South. You fuck with one of us, you fuck with all of us. It's time to stop. We want justice. We want our home back. We wanted peace to begin with, and this is what you give us. This is what we return to you. That's it.
Thank you. Do you want to talk about why you're here? Introduce yourself.
Yeah. How midakuyapi matoyapi hemie waiflum tiwahe oyukpe tiospaye ogalala lakota tituan ospaye. My name is Mato White Plume. I'm a Oglala Lakota Tituan. I come from the Pine Ridge Reservation, and where I drove here from South Dakota in support of the release of Leonard Peltier.
Do you want to talk about why you're here and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Please, Joe Biden, please, 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 please free Leonard Peltier.
You want to talk about why you're here and introduce yourself?
I'm here to represent my ancestors. I'm here to represent healing the generational curse of drugs and alcohol that have been put on our people and a celebration of return to the earth by all colors and all nations, I hope.
Hey, you want to say why you're here?
All right, I'm Lee Horndale from Oglala Sioux, and I'm here to help free Leonard Peltier. I'm Chris White Eagle. I'm here to free an innocent man, Leonard Peltier.
My name is Sunny Red Bear. I'm from the Ochete Shakowin, the Hesakpa, and I'm here to demand clemency for Leonard Peltier. He's our longest political prisoner, our Indigenous political prisoner. He symbolizes all of us. You know, Leonard is me. He's my dad. He's my uncle. He's my brother. He's my sons. And we're asking for clemency today.
Thank you. So we're getting really close to the music. You want to say anything, Hermes?
We're just here for Leonard Peltier, for his freedom. This government has held our people and made our people suffer for this many years, and it needs to stop. We're American citizens also. This is our country to begin with, and they come and put laws on our lands.
Do you want to say anything?
Free Leonard Peltier. This is for the Lakota Yate, for the Oyukhpe Teoshpai. All right, Wambli Scott, we're here. We're ready to go. We're ready to get arrested. How'd you do a look?
to take a look around. We're going to move out for a second. People are going to keep holding this space and they're singing, sharing songs. Again, people brought medicine from all over Turtle Island. There's just a lot of power and energy here right now. You can just feel it. I mean, what does it feel like right now? What does it feel like?
It feels fucking awesome, man.
I know, right?
It's great energy. Cops haven't moved in so far, so we're feeling really good. Folks are holding the space really well. A lot of spiritual energy here. I think folks have come a long way with a lot of that spiritual energy of the homelands, and so it feels great to be here. And it looks like we got some movement behind us happening.
Yeah, so it looks like some Secret Service agents. I'm not sure what the Secret Service people. There's some folks on the roof now as well, looking on. They're sort of posed up there, and you can just sort of like see them just slowly like putting their people in places. Just trying to observe what's going on from a closer and closer angle. You have some clumps of Secret Service agents off in the distance with high-powered rifles. I think 5.56 rifles, so sort of like medium-powered rifles. But they're over there. I'm sure the people on the top have the high-powered rifles. Yeah, so we're just holding space. Hey, Ty, you know anybody has a Band-Aid? I'll find a medic. Shit. It's okay. Yeah. It's bleeding again. Hold on one second. We're just adjusting. We've been live for quite a bit. I'm going to see if I can look at this battery. See where we're at. We're at 50%. Oh, we're golden. We're glorious. All right, thank you so much, everybody, for bearing with us. We got to keep checking our gear. It's very hot. Hoping everything holds together. Again, I just never noticed. On the light poles, there's like multiple microphones. So they're also getting great audio wherever they're recording that. And like somebody said, this is the most videotaped place in the world. God dang it. I cut myself earlier, and now it's... Anyways. So yeah, so you have Secret Service agents armed with sidearms, tasers, it looks like some pepper spray maybe, batons, collapsible batons. Just sort of on the fence now, sort of watching from behind the people who are holding the space right against the fence. And then on the edges, we have a few different agents as well. And so we're just going to actually hold here. I was going to try to take us out, take a look around, but we'll hold here for a second. We have some U.S. Park Police as well. Again, these are Indigenous folks from all over Turtle Island. Like I said, they brought medicine, they brought song. This began the Jumping Bull Ranch in prayer and ceremony. And now we're here in prayer and ceremony. So we brought that all from here. And again, we know that people were giving prayers and doing ceremony and sharing that with us, for us, as we came in this way to this place. And so it's really thankful for all of those folks who weren't able to make it, but are still doing what they can from where they're at. Okay. I need a Band-Aid. I think a medic's not happening. But I'll stay here, and we'll move out. We're going to find Tom. Just if you see Tom, just let him know we're probably going to switch. Oh. You good? Getting some medical attention to my cut on my finger. Thank you so much. I know. All right, I'm back good. All right, everybody, again, thanks so much. I think I was kind of yelling a little bit, sorry, but it's just really loud, so it's hard to like regulate how loud I should be talking. So I'll try to keep it a little calmer. But again, we're here. It feels beautiful. I talked to Dallas about it. It's one thing that when you're not, I mean, maybe the energy is like transferring through the stream. I'm not sure, but just to reassure you that things are feeling really, really powerful. And for somebody like for me who was on the caravan in Minneapolis, where there was, again, it started in Jumping Bull Ranch, left from Rapid City, South Dakota, started that day in a circle with prayer at the ranch ceremony and prayer, came to Minneapolis where we had a ceremony and prayer. We loaded a bunch more folks onto the buses, and that's where I joined. And again, when I got on that journey, I was like, I don't know if I want to be on a bus for 16 or whatever, 17, 18 hours. But it was beautiful. Like, people were singing, people were sharing song. There was like generational knowledge being passed because, again, as Nick Estes was saying, there is a lot of youth who are taking this mantle on and trying to free their relative, Leonard Peltier. And it was a beautiful thing to witness, to sort of be in this space with all of these different generations. There was even an infant on the bus, this the newest generation of people. And again, Indigenous folks have been here forever. They're going to continue to be here. We're holding this space. You can see there's our allies to the south, the Eagle and the Condor together. And the power you can feel right now is just incredible. And I'm very thankful to also be able to witness this and hold this space with you. And we're just going to listen for a bit and just observe. So thanks again. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll keep this stream going as long as we can. So again, if you're just joining, today on Leonard Peltier's 79th birthday, hundreds of Indigenous activists and organizers and allies are gathering on Piscataway lands in front of the White House to take collective action and demand executive clemency for Leonard now. I'm the director of tactical media here. Lorenzo Serna, I'm currently your host. We had Sarah Manning earlier. And we've just been trying to keep you here live on the ground. You've been following, you've been live throughout this journey to get us here. Not only are Leonard Peltier supporters taking action, but we also heard speakers Nick Tilsen, Judge Kevin Sharp, President Fawn Sharp of National Congress of American Indians, I think, Suzan Harjo, Nick Estes, and the Red Nation, and Representative Raúl Grijalva. Anyways, about the history of the Free Leonard Peltier movement. There's now a large contingent of Secret Service agents coming out of the fence of the White House. So we're going to take a look over here. You can see they're walking out a bunch of Secret Service agents. I'm not sure what their plan is. It looks like we have this officer coming up here, and now they've made a line. So now we're surrounded. Well, here we are. They haven't made any announcements, so I'm not sure what their plan is, but you can see that now there's a line of Secret Service agents in front of us. And we're just going to stay here. There's also like a bunch of tourists, so it's a weird scene. But yeah, so now we have Park Police, Secret Service. I think it's yeah, so it looks like they're deciding to do something. Right now they've kind of separated the... Yeah, so as far as I've heard, at least it's hard to hear, there's been no announcements of any sort of dispersal orders, so we're just going to keep holding this space. But You know, we are credentialed press. I'm wearing it on my chest, so we'll try to stay as long as we can. It's very possible they're going to move us away. When we do, we might have to switch to a different camera. So just bear with us. There might be a second. I'll definitely announce it. We're going to move to a different camera. You can see somebody's taking a picture of each of the Secret Service agents. All the Secret Service have sidearms. All the rifles are behind us on the lawn. I got one. Thank you. People looking out. Sarah's trying to bring me a Band-Aid. I had a little cut, but I'm great. Secret Service agents on the lawns. Again, it looks like the folks on the roof are not the... You want to say anything? Okay, so it looks like they brought out a little LRAD, little baby LRAD that they use to make their announcements. So it looks like they're putting those and placing them around the area where they're going to probably announce saying that people are going to have to disperse. Again, folks want to hold this space and make a decision on if they move or not. And it looks like they're probably going to stay. I mean, that's their intention. So we'll see what plays out there. But again, we're in Washington, D.C. in front of the White House, a giant banner calling for President Biden to release Leonard Peltier with an executive clemency. It's been an ongoing demand, ask, whatever you want to say, multiple administrations. And now people are hoping this is the administration that will actually free Leonard Peltier, who has just unjustly been incarcerated. The charges don't hold up. Different organizations have claimed and stated that this is a huge injustice against Indigenous people. We've talked to the prosecutor. You can look back to the feed. Maybe we can find that video. We were just talking like when this case went down, it was completely bogus. I don't know how I use the word bogus, but it was obviously fueled by the ongoing racism this country has been facing, continues to face head on, and they're asking that this one injustice be righted, and then we can move into the future to right the rest of them. But right now, this is what we're asking for. This is what we're demanding, is to free Leonard Peltier. That's why all these people have come from across Turtle Island, again, in prayer and in ceremony. And now we're just going to listen for a second and see where we end up. Anyways, I don't know.
This is a test of the long-range acoustic device.
So the park police has an LRAD, which actually can cause physical damage to humans. It can destroy eardrums. It can cause disable folks for a long period of time. People in New York City actually pressed charges against the New York Police Department after they used an LRAD and won millions of dollars from that department for using that weapon against them. So I just want to mention that they're bringing that out. That causes ongoing damage to your eardrums forever. I'm sure they're not going to put it up to 11 or whatever it takes to get it there. And let's move to the other side of the... Yes, I just want to mention that. And they've already lost cases when they use that thing. And so here they are again, just blowing it out.
Can you at least hold it?
So we're just going to stay with the people. People are chanting free Peltier. There's a conversation between multiple departments trying to decide what to do. These must be horse police. The park police. These are park police. U.S. Park Police, Secret Service. All right, so it looks like they're pulling away this big banner. I don't know. You probably can't see it on the back of the LRAD, but you can. There's like a targeting system to explain how to aim it for the person who's operating the LRAD. You can see a circle. There's like a red diagram saying this is the way that we do damage. All right, so looks like they're closing the street. I was waiting for them to point this banner away. They're telling people to move. People look like they're listening. It's also really loud, probably on the other side. We're behind them, and so I'm sure with all the chants going on, it's actually kind of hard to hear those commands, which is why they try to use this LRAD. But again, you can see there's all of them. Here we go again. Yeah, so they're trying to move everyone to the park. Yeah, there's somebody mentioning that just. Yeah. So as I keep saying here for a second, we might move back across to the people that they're actually just clearing the street. They made no announcements to the sidewalk yet, so I feel like we're in the clear. And again, we're wearing press passes. We'll comply. Hopefully, they'll tell us where the press can be if they try to move us back. If they move us back too far, we're going to have to do a little bit of media changes to try to be able to show what's going on from the distance. But right now, we're sticking. We're staying in. People are trying to fold this banner away, and we'll just kind of see where things go from here. Yeah, so it's like it's Park Police, Secret Service. I'm not sure they go by agents. It's Secret Service agents, Secret Service individuals. I don't know. They're all there. That's them.
Free Leonard Peltier!
Yeah, so you can see that the street's now been cleared, and so we're just on the side now. The folks who are in front of the fence are sort of, if you pan to your left here, you can see like the length of the banner as they're trying to roll it up, and the signage, if you can see it there, is the folks who are in the fence who are holding this space. Don't plan to leave, from my understanding. And right now, the police, if you don't know how they work, they like to make quadrants. They like to control space, and so that's what they're doing. Is they're trying to control this space, saying that this is the place that we don't want you to be anymore. They're clearing the streets so they understand how people are going to be moving. And so right now, that's what they have done. Is they've made this blockade of folks. They're saying everyone in front of us has to go away, and I'm sure once they go away, half of them are going to turn around and start dealing with the folks behind them. You have a few officers moving back and forth. Again, if you have to deal with police officers, they're all like a hierarchy, so they can't do anything till somebody gives them orders usually. So right now they're probably going to stand still for quite a bit until one of the higher-ups tells them to do their next dance move. So we're just going to keep watching. And again, thanks for joining us. Free Leonard Peltier, it's his birthday. And again, we've come a long way to be here. And we hope that all of you are with us. And yeah, if you're watching, you can call the White House right now. You know, you can call them up. Let's see where they're going to put us. All right, so it looks like they're putting a police line up, or yeah, do that cross line. All right. So yeah, so it looks like they're going to make a line across the front of us here. I guess maybe the press get to stay right here. And I assume they're going to walk them that way to their mobile units, actually. So yeah, police line, do not cross. Oh, they're doing it all the way across the road. Yeah, so both sides now of the road have a police line on them. We have a few street medics still in the attending folks actually gave me a bandage, so they're helping out. Come on, I'll try to get some interviews. You want to try to dive in and get some interviews? Looks like homies are still moving. Oh, actually, it's probably gonna be hard to go in there with the big thing on your back. Anyways, we got interviews from a lot of people who are holding that space, so if you want to know why they're here, you can kind of go back in the stream. And this, like, really short, it was very loud, people were singing that the environment definitely has changed since the police changed the space, you know. And again, that's what they try to do, is change the space, make it not what you wanted it to be, so that you react to what they're doing. And so now we're kind of in a holding pattern. The school is holding.
Did you hear an official warning just now?
No,
You didn't?
I don't think so. Well, it looks like they're moving up, so it looks like, yeah. So they put some bike racks. Looks like the police line's now moving forward, and this credentialed press was gonna follow along. And we're gonna stay with the people. You know what? Let's stay with the people back here. But you can see the police line's now moving forward to the racks, the bike racks. They've kind of like locked in front of the people who come from across Turtle Island to demand to free Leonard Peltier, and they're now just holding that line. So again, now they've pushed people into the park. From my understanding, this is what goes down in D.C. all the time, and they've practiced this a lot. So they're kind of doing how they do it here right now, and they have this whole middle area now clear. A line of police officers there facing the people in the park and the people who are behind them, and if we come back to them, they're just holding their fists up. Rise up for Peltier signs. Again, eagle head staves, medicine up in the air. I think there's a turtle shell rattle I saw. You know, people brought their medicine with them from across Turtle Island to this moment. And like I said, this began in prayer and ceremony, and we are here in prayer and ceremony. And we're going to see where things go from here. News to share.
Okay, so they have a dedicated area over there for media, and they might move folks from here.
Yeah.
Because when they arrest folks come out this way.
Yeah.
Oh, they are. But my suggestion is we have both. Can we stay over here and film the arrest?
All right. So we just walk across to over there?
1 second.
Okay. 1 second. Hey, come on. Stay close to the arrestees. Come on. This way. 1338. Why are you here? Free Peltier! Free Leonard Peltier! Free Leonard Peltier! Free Leonard Peltier! Free 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 Peltier! I put this in the pen. I don't really got a zoom per se, so we're going to see what we can do here. Give me a second. All right, now we're just stuck here. Our camera's over there. I'm going to see if I can get it. Can you just hold on to this? You good?
Lorenzo, and Sarah, and any of the photographers. So, when they arrest folks, they're going to arrest them and take them that way. So if somebody wants to get like stills or shots of them getting arrested, taken that way, I want you guys to go on that side and catch it this way. Not everybody, but one or two people you can.
No. You're in. You're not leaving until it's over with per person.
No, we just. I just have to
change your mind in the last 2 minutes.
What's going on?
Okay, go inside for a minute. Go over there.
Just for you guys, your awareness. This line is going to be held hard, all right? So if you guys choose to cross this line while we're giving these warnings, it's interference. You'll be subject to arrest, okay? So more than welcome to view, say whatever you want, right? And document everything that you can, but you have to do it behind this police line. Understand? Are there any questions with that? Good? If you want, I don't have a problem with that. Okay? But if you choose to stay here, just stay within this area. Do not leave. I don't want you up on Pennsylvania Avenue hanging out over here. All right? This is the press area. If you want to document, you document within here. If you want to leave the area, you're more than welcome to do so. I don't want you over there documenting. This is your given area. Good? Does that make sense? Any questions from anybody?
Which jail are you taking them to?
What's that?
Which jail are you taking them to?
They're just being citation released.
Oh, citation release.
Yep.
Copy it.
It keeps heating up.
Go next to Kyle. Someone's been arrested already.
It was like that.
Let us have one photographer to be walking over and across to the other side over there to catch those shots. Somebody wants to I don't know who has the order there.
Get yourself a ticket.
Or is Willie already over there? What?
I'll be ready to go to see you.
Close up to the barricade as you can. So that you can get photos.
We're gonna go. Which way we gotta go? Back there.
Yeah, follow me.
All right. We got this big backpack here.
So we're going to try to get to a different spot. Cause,
Right here, it's going to escort you out.
All right.
Just escort them out.
And we can still get into the park.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just
you'll
back
have
here.
to go around where that white
All
box
right.
truck is, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to try and move out because they're going to be leading them out a different way. So we want to try to see if we can get there. They're going to walk us out kind of far to get back into the park, but we're just going to go with it. Again, thanks for joining us. We are live on the Indian Collective, and yeah, we're going to see how far out we're going to have to go. It looks pretty far. We're going to keep doing it.
You guys want to go to the park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just kind of like lost in thought a little bit. There's definitely a large amount of barricades. I didn't notice them all until now. I don't know if they went up as it was going down or what, but here we are. Got a bike escort, thank you. It looks like I'm really important. Yeah, super important. Again, just where we were at with our lens, it didn't feel like a good place to be filming from, so we're going to try to move to the other side. Are you Secret Service agents or no, like personnel officers? All right, thank you. Secret Service officers, we solved the puzzle. That wasn't even a puzzle.
Go through here, hang a right.
Yeah, and just stay on this side of the barricades?
Yep.
All right. All right, so we're going to now head back to where all the people are gathered again. We were with the folks who are risking arrest. Are going to be, I'm not sure, detained, cited. I'm not sure how it's going to go down. And we just decided that we're going to leave that space. It didn't feel like the best space for us in that moment, and we're going to move around and see what we can do. There might be a moment where we go down. I'll try to alert you, and we're going to switch to a different camera, but we'll hold until then. So just bear with us. Again, let us know how you're feeling, I guess. I don't know. I hope everyone's doing well out there. Hope everyone's fed, comfortable, warm, praying or not praying, or however you want to pray. I don't know how that is for you. And just, thanks for holding us in your thoughts. Thanks for witnessing with us. And we're just going to stay alive here for a bit. No, we got this. Do you know where Tom? Okay. You want to stay here for a moment? I'm going to go look for the other cam. All right, we'll be right. Just really hold for a second. All right, everybody, let's give us a second. We're going to be switching cameras. We might be down for maybe 5-10 seconds. Just bear with us. Again, we'll be right back.
Do you know where the medics are? We need a Band-Aid for Zoe.
You said medic? Yeah, there's let's see. I know they must have help with that.
I know.
Is this the mic I gave you?
Yeah.
Mic check, mic check. All right, what's up, everybody? We just switched cameras. Thanks so much for bearing with us. Sorry for that little bit of a just switch. It was a lot. You can tell him that he's down if he needs to take a break, or if he wants to just film whatever, just make art, be pretty. All right, so I'm your host. We're gonna be seeing. I can't see at all. All right, here we go. So it looks like the police are trying to give folks the opportunity to leave. I don't think people are going to leave. That's not why they came here. But I want to also do like a little bit of a check right now. We did just do a lot of weird tech stuff, so I'm worried the audio isn't working. So if you are watching, you can let me know if the audio sounds okay. And I'm holding a lot of stuff, so just bear with me. We're going to try to keep this live. So again, just bear with me. This is a little bit of a camera switch, so we're just checking the audio on the internet really quick. And again, if you're watching, you can let me know if the audio is still doing great. I apologize if it's not, but we'll get there. Again, we are doing what we can to keep this live, and they pushed us out, so we're trying to be on a different camera so we can kind of get you a little closer. But we'll keep us live and keep holding. All right, thanks everyone. Looks like this sounds good. AIM Twin Cities, George Washbear, thanks for being here. Elena, Kimberly, Adrian, thank you everyone. Do what you can where you're at. We appreciate everybody. I always say how a movement is many people. It's not just the front lines, it's the back lines, it's the home lines, it's the on lines, and we're here together. So thank you so much for joining. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting, and we're here for the duration. You can see Nick Tilsen up there. You can see the Enough is Enough banner, a giant banner as well. Just give me a second on this. Woo. I might lose my glasses. Okay, here we are. Let's see what we got. See the Rise Up for Peltier. So that's the White House right behind them. We'll pull it out a little bit so you can see that is the White House. This is the Secret Service officers. I just found out from a Secret Service person. They're here. They're kind of just wearing tasers, you know, a little bit of a sidearm, looks like probably like a 9mm pistol. And they're just probably what they're usually wearing. Again, there's people with rifles behind them, behind the fence I saw earlier, but they're not visible anymore. One second. Hello? No, we can't go back, so we're stuck here. Sounds good. Well, if you want to, can you hear them? I'm talking to somebody, to Sarah Manning, our Director of Communications, is actually still in the press pin. Just kind of let me know what they're hearing and seeing. I don't know if you can describe what you're seeing. I think we have a different angle, but yeah. I guess if you hear anything, just let us know. Just give me a call. I'm on a camcorder, so we're just zooming in to be able to see people up close. So okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. Sounds good. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. That was our Director of Communications at the Indian Collective, Sarah Manning, who is in the where we were at earlier, if you saw our stream, in the press line. And we just came out because, from our understanding, if they do arrest folks, they're going to pull them over here. And so we wanted to be sure that we could see that. We'll go ahead and pan across. You can see that's a Park Service officer with a little more, I guess, the greens on. Some of the other Park Service folks are just wearing white uniforms. That is the Free Leonard Peltier banner. It's across the front there. It says Biden Free Leonard Peltier now. And there's Enough and Enough banner with folks who are refusing to leave and are holding that space again, prayer and ceremony. A lot of different medicine is there holding that space. A lot of songs and prayers have come together right there, all holding Rise Up for Peltier. Again, people from across Turtle Island. If you're just joining us, this is Leonard Peltier's 79th birthday. We're calling for executive clemency now. Like, now is the time to release Leonard Peltier. Unjust. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sweating. I'm actually going to help me out. I have a cut on my finger, and they're going to come bandage me up. So let's give me a second here. Sorry. This is the closest I can get. Thank you. I'm just sweating. Sorry for him. That's fine. I'll come back. Thank you. So, the medics just bandaged my finger up. Much appreciation to the medics. Yeah, it's just kind of hard to... Yeah, I don't think folks are leaving. See another park police person heading out. See all these police vehicles flanking. I'm just going to keep it on the people up there. Again, this is the closest I can get. If I got any closer, it'd be a different stream. Again, yeah, I saw the chat for a second. I can take a look back. Let's take a look back. People have questions or whatever. Now's a really good time. If you did call the White House, you want to let me know what that was like. Again, like sometimes you're just leaving a message. Sometimes people actually do answer, which I think is incredible. I never knew that. And yeah. Right on. Working great. No problem. Some big thanks again. My name is Lorenzo Serna. I'm the director of tactical media here at the NDN Collective. We have a large collaboration going on all the time between the tactical media team and the comms team, and we have a lot of remote support people. So you see the people on the ground, there's people online, and everyone's sort of working together to make this happen for folks who can't make it. And it's part of our goal is to make these events more accessible for folks who can't get around, maybe have different ability levels. And so we want to make sure that you can reach them. We apologize that getting captions on them, it's the auto captions we know aren't the greatest. We are trying to figure that out as well. So if you want to let me know what we can do or have ideas, let us know. But we want to make this as accessible as possible. And this is where we're at right now. And the live stream is a version of accessibility for folks who can't make it. And it's one of the things that we really, at least the tactical media team, is really focusing on. So we're really thankful to be able to provide this sort of access to these events, these frontline events where you have people in front of the White House demanding justice. It looks like they're risking arrest. The police have made a cordon, pushed people back to the park, and now they're holding space in prayer. There's songs to my right. Lots of people conversing, relationships being built. Again, the movement is relationships. And, we're hoping that this all ends in a good way and Leonard Peltier is free. That'd be great if he has freedom right now. We go home, see our families, go see our relatives, have meals together. It's like the things that we leave behind to do this for Leonard is also something we want to remember. But it's important that we're here because if we weren't here, it doesn't matter. We're here because it's not going to be forgotten. We're not going to forget the past that got us to this present, this super powerful moment of all of these generations coming together. So we're thankful to our elders and our relatives. We're thankful for the new relatives that are here. Like I said, an infant rode on the bus here. And we're going to keep holding this space, keep demanding justice, keep demanding liberation. We see you relatives, you see us relatives, and we're in this together. So it looks like the big banner is walking out now. Excuse me, pardon me. So we're going to move close again. Let me go back to where I was at. I think that's going to be where we're going to want to be. That's, I think, Fawn Sharp, the president of National Congress of American Indians. They had some quotes, I think, in the Washington Post. Spoke earlier at the rally. we pull this out a little bit, and we're gonna move to the left, and we're gonna go push back in. So just bear with me. Oh shit! All right, thank you. I hope everyone can see all right. It's kind of really hard to see the viewfinder, so here we are. So that's the folks who, I think there's Dallas Goldtooth right in the middle, who was emceeing the rally. A lot of different folks are there. I'm not exactly sure of everyone's names. I'm not sure if you can hear him, but chanting, "We came from Leonard Peltier." So we're just going to hold this shot just to make sure we observe everything that happens. Again, there's no celebration of being arrested. I think we're all concerned about what will happen. We know that from our understanding, like, things are pretty smooth in D.C., but also we've been around the police before, and things don't go smoothly sometimes when the police do stuff. So we just want to make sure we have full witness of what happens here, and just thankful you're witnessing with us, and just let us know. I can call somebody over there. Hold on. Hey, D. You want to hold this for a second?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Demetrius Johnson, part of Tactical Media. We are here in Piscataway land, aka Washington, D.C., in front of the White House. It is hot, it is humid, and our hearts are on fire for Leonard Peltier.
Hey, I'm filming you. Did you want to wave really quick so we know where you're at? There you go. I'm on to your right. Hey, can you bring the mic over? Hey. So people on the live stream can hear you right now. Do you want to talk about why you're there, why this is happening?
We're here because Leonard Peltier has been incarcerated for for 48 years, and we are dissenting, we are resisting against the United States government for the wrongful incarceration and imprisonment of Leonard Peltier, and we're calling for executive clemency for his release. And so we are standing in solidarity with Leonard Peltier as he's in Coleman Penitentiary in Florida.
Is there anybody else around you who maybe wants to talk about why they're there? I just want to check really quick.
Lorenzo's there. They want to talk to you. It's live. It's live. What?
Yeah, just go for it. Tell folks why you're there. You're on the live stream, so I'm just putting the phone to the mic.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to talk about why you're there?
Yes.
Go for it.
Yep, we're here for Leonard Peltier, the longest Indigenous political prisoner. He's been in prison for decades. I talked about it earlier. Leonard represents so many of us. If it can happen to him, it can happen to us. And I think of my sons. I think of my brothers and my aunt Day and my father. They've all been imprisoned. So many of us are facing injustices every single day. Leonard is our relative, and we're here to stand. We're here to make a stand and, let the Biden administration know that they have a responsibility. They talked about, upholding and centering and prioritizing the rights and civil rights of Native American people. It was one of their priorities for this administration, and we're waiting to see that. This is a time to show that this is a time of action. We're not here for nothing. We're not here for a show. We're not here for to just talk about it. We're asking them to do something, and we're asking for them to do something now.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you wave really quick so people know where you're at? That's who's being interviewed right now. Sonny Red Bear. Is there anybody else around you who wants to give a statement or talk about why they're there?
You want to talk about it while you're here? Okay.
Herm Dog. Hold on. We're going live with Herm Dog straight out of Minnelusaha here. Oh, go ahead. Come on.
I
hope.
How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm all right. Just wondering, we're stuck across the street. We thought we'd call in, see what people are doing and how they're doing over there. So let us know.
We're doing really good. Tokashla blessed us with some clouds and gave us some shade over here. We're going to stand here until we open some eyes up over here.
Well, I'm proud of you. I don't know if you want to hear that, but you're always just thankful to have met you, Hermes, and I'm thankful for everything you share with me. And I'm here. We're here. We're making sure everything goes okay, and we're gonna get Peltier free. Oh.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
I'm good.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Hey, this is the live for NDN Collective. I want you to talk to them. You're recording it. And say why you're doing this. Introduce yourself. We're gonna come right here on the end. Can you see us? Can you see us, Lorenzo? Okay.
Yeah, we see you good.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. And
hi, this is Paul O'Brien, the executive director of Amnesty. I see you. And I'm doing this because I want to stand in solidarity with these other leaders. I'm here to represent Amnesty USA, 250,000 members in the USA, 10 million around the world. We stand in solidarity with you because of Leonard's story and the injustice that's being done here today. So we're going to keep doing this until he gets clemency. Thank you for the chance to be with you.
Thank you for standing with us. How are we doing, Lorenzo?
We're great. I think that's good. I just wanted to call in really quick, just check in, but we're good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. So I was just calling in really quick to see if we can hear some voices from, they pushed us back pretty far, so I just wanted to, I don't know why I'm still talking on the phone. So I just wanted to try that out. So we just did that real quick. Got a few statements. Again, we have a few interviews earlier, so if you take a look back, you can hear a lot of the folks. You can take it here. You can hear a lot of the people already talk, so I think that's why folks are just kind of holding space. It's really hot. Looks like the Parks Police is moving closer, now talking to people. Oh, they're pulling out. That's Cheryl Angel. I'm not sure whether they're pulling out people now. So yeah, it looks like they're going to pull 2 people out at a time. They're pulling them to this vehicle here. It looks like they're IDing them. And they're probably going to take their information. And we'll see if it sounds like they're just going to cite them. But we'll see. Again, we never really know. We are told a lot of things at times in these encounters with the police. Made a lot of promises. So that's why we're staying live, to make sure that those are upheld. And we're just going to stay here. There's nothing, again, people who have been arrested, I'm sorry that we're showing this. People who have been in jail, I know how triggering this can be. And so I just want to acknowledge that too. Fawn Sharp is still there, I think, on prayer. Yeah, so it looks like they have this van blocking them as they're being processed behind it. I'm sorry. Looks like they have this van blocking the people who are arrested. I'm not sure who these folks are. Looks like the police are looking at like a laptop. I'm not sure if they're playing through footage or searching through people's records, but they're all gathered around pointing at a laptop with interest. Yeah, so it looks like they're just kind of bringing a couple people out at a time. I'm sure these folks are going to go grab two more folks. Again, people here demanding they free Leonard Peltier.
Not yet.
I think that's we spoke to that person on the phone. That's that's the head of Amnesty International, isn't it? Yeah. He just spoke to us on the phone. We interviewed him a little bit earlier. And this is a person who's here. We interviewed him when we were along the banner, talking about why he was here. Just again, demand freedom for Leonard Peltier and also for personal reasons. Again, thanks for joining us. We're just witnessing as the police are pulling people out. I have a zoomed-in camera we're trying to see. I think that's a Fawn Sharp. Been holding there now for maybe 20, 30 minutes. In prayer, they're pulling out Cheryl Angel. I don't know everyone's name, so I apologize. looks like some of the folks are being released back into the park. We're going to stay here just to keep witnessing as people are being pulled into the police line to get cited. Looks like they're being cited and released. But we just want to keep the camera on that for now. So here we go. Tilsen, Dallas Colin Tooth, and Fawn Sharp. Like 12 or 13 people are still at the fence not sure how many people have been pulled out. I have not been counting, and so I apologize about that. We're just keeping this feed live again. It's Free Peltier Action, Free Leonard Peltier on his 79th birthday in front of the White House. Let's take a look at the White House. People being cited. Looks like they're being released right back into the park. It's the White House. Sunscreen on. Again, so if you're just joining us, we've been out here. I'm not sure what time is it. What time? I guess I'll look. You know what the time is? Hold on. 2:43. What time did we get here? Noon? 11. Noon. 11. 11. 11. No. I think we left here at 11:30 actually. So like 11:45. 2 hours. I can't do math. Somebody tell me. You've been watching the stream the whole time. Let me know how long it's been up. I'll take a look at the chat in a second. The sun's been pretty brutal. It looks like there's been a really good upkeep of this water. People checking on each other. You can see the police are giving each other water right now, making sure nobody passes out. They are wearing all black, and it looks like a little bit of pistol vest protection, which gets heavy and hot, so they're taking care of themselves. And then I haven't seen anybody offer water to the people in the back. At the banner, which is a little concerning at the current heat level. So hopefully we'll have some water back there. All right, I think they're going to bring him water. Hold on. They're bringing each other water. I want to yell at them to get them water. I think that when they get back into the park, they're giving water right away. I hope that there's medics attending them. I'm trying to look over and take a look right now. But they are being received. The relatives are out here receiving them, and they're giving them the care they need. They've been on the cement for a while. It's super hot. I've definitely been sweating. My mouth is dry now. I need some water myself, but this is a little bit of concern. think there's that right there in the front. You steal it? I don't know if it was somebody's, but I'm going to take a drink of water. Just give me a second. Okay, hold on. Just aim it at the... Oh, you know, I stole it from the ground and there was somebody, so maybe put it back in.
You stole someone.
It's not as hot as it is over there, but you know, I was kind of thinking about them. They don't have any water either, so I'm kind of concerned a little bit. So them? Oh, okay, good. All right. We're getting some updates. They have water over there, I'm hearing. That makes me feel a little better. And I'm getting some water right now, so just give me a second.
Thank you, Rescables, for your sacrifices. Hey, you look really hot.
Not sure what unit they're with, but it seems to be have a whole different set of gear, so I just kind of got interested.
What do we want?
That's like Estes. Oh, that's not Dallas. That's Dallas Goldtooth. That was funny because earlier they were both getting. People kept mixing them up, and I just did it live on the live stream. Whoops! That's Dallas Goldtooth there at the end holding the banner. Fawn Sharp is still out there. It's Tyler Wade. Some folks still holding that space. Still, it looks like people are being pulled out. I think they're just going to be released Mato. We interviewed Mato earlier. I think there's six folks still left. They're pulling them out two at a time.
station back to that rig when everyone gets pulled back into the park.
Okay.
You can also tell them to check all the batteries because they might be low and might not work.
I think we can use this one, maybe, this switch. I got 50. I got 66%.
Yeah, he's done.
Let them know that we'll use this one because it has more power, and we'll just switch before. Nick Tilsen, Hermes, we spoke to him earlier on the phone. Nick Tilsen, CEO, President of Indian Collective, Hermes Bellion, local organizer, Indian Collective, General Badass. We rode all the way together here in the bus. Started in Jumping Bull Ranch, where this all went down decades ago. Started there in prayer and ceremony. This all started at Contact. You really want to go. This is Dallas Goldtooth, who was the MC for the rally. Oops. It started with a prayer and ceremony at the Jumping Bull Ranch. Let's see how they got a hold. They can't touch them stabs. So that's everybody who was in front of the White House. They're now all being processed over here at these police lines. Again, this started with prayer and ceremony at the Jumping Bull Ranch. I think it was the 7th of September. Today's the 12th. That was 5 days ago. At real math, 5 days ago. From there, left in a caravan from Rapid City, South Dakota, Oshkosh territory, the sacred Black Hills, the sacred Hasapa. Drove to Minneapolis, about an 8-hour drive. You're like really believing in yourself, probably 10, you gotta do some stops. There we are met with a variety of different American Indian movement groups, the Little Earth Protectors. Little Earth is one of the biggest urban Indian developments in the United States, in the heart of Minneapolis. That's Fawn Sharp right there. We all spoke to. There we had ceremony, we had prayer, we ate together like relatives do, how Indigenous people do. They greeted us and treated us so well when we were there. We listened to speakers, we had dancers, we had, again, ceremony and prayer. I can't emphasize that enough. Spent the night there. Next morning we met back in Little Earth, had a little bit of breakfast, and jumped on the buses. Drove all night. I think that drive was maybe 10 to 11 hours. Drove through Chicago, kind of ended the night outside of Cleveland. There's live streams to kind of like show you all of this too if you're interested in looking back. And spent the night there. Woke up and drove from, I think it was a Richfield, Ohio? Something like that, outside Cleveland. And then from there we drove all the way to D.C. You can see us arriving in D.C. People were really excited again. I've been in a bunch of caravans, I'm not going to lie. I've been in a lot of buses. I was kind of questioning if I was going to be able to make it because I was like, it's just, it's a long time to sit. But it was a very good experience. Like I said, there was generations of people on there. There was an infant on there. There was families and parents on there. There was elders on there. There was youth on there. And not only were they sharing songs, but they were sharing like knowledge. I could see as the elders are speaking to the youth and sharing songs, and people were taking the lead of songs, and it was just a beautiful experience the whole way in. There was also some karaoke, if you want to know the truth. They got a little silly, a lot of jokes, a lot of like just laughter as if you're Indigenous, you know how it goes. Passing the times, just poking some fun at each other in a good way, just getting us here in a good way. And we did that. we had a lucky night of just sort of resting on the 10th, 11th. We just prepared. Again, you can see the live stream of that banner being revealed here in D.C. at the National Mall. Again, song and prayer, food, always food. It was piles of pizza, which, you know, happens a lot, the piles of pizza. Sometimes it's fried chicken, sometimes it's soup, you know, but we're going to feed the people got fed. And then from there, everyone hopefully got some good rest. I don't know if I did. And then we woke up, and now we're here. Again, started in ceremony and prayer, marched to the mall, had a rally. It's probably about 45 minutes long, multiple speakers. You'll want to get some context to what's going on. I definitely suggest going back to that. If you want to take action at home, you can as well. There's links in the chat. There's links in just in the description, I think. And so we're gonna keep this live. I think we're gonna try switch cameras again because we're just using this one to kind of give us a little bit of more ability to push in, be able to see what's going on from afar because they pushed us out. Yeah. So that's being cited and thankfully being released. So we're gonna move the camera, and we're gonna see if we can switch it out.
Rolling good. We got a battery pack.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have to do that dance again. So let's bear with me. We're gonna get together and see if we can switch cameras and get back on the other one. One second. All right, we're going to take this down for a few minutes, for like 10 seconds. Mic check. All right, we're back on this camera. Thank you so much for bearing with us for that short break. Again, if you're watching from everywhere, thanks for joining us. Wow. All right, so they're still processing some folks on this side. You can see all these vehicles now, probably just trying to block what's happening. Of course, we like to see what's going on, but also a lot of personal information is being shared, so it's always kind of a weird thing to dance, a weird little dance. But it looks like people are going to be all released. I'm not sure how many folks were detained and cited. I'm not sure. It was a bunch. I should have been counting. If you really feel like we filmed them all, so if you want to count them, they're right there. But they're coming out. You can see the Eagle staffs are coming out. And let's go. Oh yeah, they're bringing out the art. Again, this is the 79th birthday of Leonard Peltier. They're saying this is the time for him to be released. It's now. They're saying Joe Biden has that power for executive clemency. He can do it. And so they're saying that there's no more time to wait. He needs to get free. He needs to be able to experience. He wants to see the stars. Let's get our relative out. And again, you heard all the different speakers talking about how Leonard Peltier is tied up in all Indigenous people. It's a way to make it all Indigenous people suffer in this ongoing injustice. Yeah, we're going to get them out. Get them free. You want to go all the way down there? Yeah. So we're going to try and meet them as they get released here. Hello? Hello? We should still be live. The stream's up and the audio's good. We do. I just gave the microphone to call. So no. I said I was switching cameras. Okay, touch it. Thank you so much. All right, well, we want to see a big bite now. People are getting some food. Again, people just got released. They're getting some care right now, so we're going to keep a little bit of a distance. Let's go ahead and take a few steps back. People need to get some water, food, just to make sure they're doing okay. So we're going to take a second, and then hopefully we can get a statement or two. I'm not sure how they're going to close out. I don't know, is there a plan to close out? I'm not really sure. We're going to find out together. But yeah, so people are just eating some sandwiches. It looks like burritos. And so we're just going to hold off, give them some space, really good. Let the folks get their care and needs. Let's not jump in, shove a camera in their face. That's not how we roll. So we're going to give them a little bit of space. I want to thank everybody who's out there. Again, just follow, and share. This is going to be an ongoing campaign. I think you can sign up for a specific listserv. So if you want to get updates on where this is at. And we're not. This is just, again, this has been going on for decades. People have been trying to fight to free Peltier. This is where we're at today, September 12th, 2023. The 2020s, I guess. And so it's an ongoing fight. We're hoping this is it, though. Because as people spoke, Leonard Peltier is an elder. And he's been in for so long, and we know that there's different health things going on, and we want him free to experience freedom that he deserves for being unjustly detained for so long. And this is a step in repair. This is a step in healing that is absolutely needed with the history of Indigenous people in the so-called United States, this colonial state that has been ongoing since contact. So we're hoping to maybe get one last. Let me check in. Can I hold this and check in if we should do an interview real quick? Right? Let's hold the microphone. All right, I can hold it. It back there. Let's hold the mic. I was gonna walk in. Oh.
my first time like actually doing this.
How was it?
It's nuts.
It's intense.
Yeah, it's intense.
You do it fucking hard.
It's a thankless job. It is. Yeah, we gotta make sure these guys are hydrated and stuff. You never think about. Yeah.
Boom! We're gonna take the screen down. All right.
Nice.
Good job, everybody. Good job, remote team. Good job, everyone. The internet warriors, keyboard warriors. I've heard about you. You tell me about yourselves all the time sometimes. No, but I'm really thankful for everyone who's watching. Again, 79th birthday to Leonard Peltier. Free him now, free him now, free him now, free them all. Toss that in there for a good luck. And just keep following. Like we said, this is an ongoing campaign. It's been ongoing for decades. It's been ongoing since contact, basically, to be honest. And just want to be thankful for all those prayers and ceremonies that we know people were holding from across Turtle Island, from the north to the south. We saw the eagle and condor came together here to hold space together in song and prayer. And this isn't going to stop. We're never going to stop. We're going to keep looking for justice. We're going to keep looking for liberation. We're going to get our relatives free. And we're going to save this earth, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do it all. So much thankful, much support. Again, we'll go through that list of description. Like, follow, and share Indian Collective. We're going to have more content. Honestly, after this, we're going to New York City for Climate Week. Continue fighting for the earth and fighting for the land and just fighting. But, we're also going to relax. We're going to take care of each other, take care of our hearts, take care of our spirits, take care of our relatives. I know people have been calling me, making sure I'm taking care of myself. Don't worry, I'm going to get some food. I'm sure I'm a little burnt. But we're going to work on it. But much respect. Again, I'm Lorenzo, Director of Tactical Media here at the Indian Collective. My pronouns are still they, them. I'm still Chicanx, and I'm still proud as fuck. So, talk to you soon.